ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gurneet Bhatia Agarwal, and I am an engineer by education. With an experience of 7.5 years in the industry, I have been serving towards digital marketing and working towards various platforms in my life. Life came in that way that when I started my engineering, I had no idea what to do. I started doing engineering because my father wanted me to become an engineer. Today I stand here as a young, confident girl talking about real estates. Well, it was a journey from nowhere it came into my laps. I have to tell you that for a woman to be a hustler, you have to have this go-getter attitude. Today, I started my journey from Tata Consultancy Services, which was my first job in life. I was the first and the only girl in my entire batch who cracked out of an completely big platform of an offline campus recruitment. Today, after gaining few years of experience in TCS, after working with Warner Brothers on their development project, I took it ahead as a challenge, but I was given one chance to move to New Zealand. I gave it, because for me at that time what mattered was I chose love over my shining career. It was my decision. I wanted to settle down in life. I wanted to move back to Kanpur, get married, and have a happy life. I have no regrets about it. It was a decision I took. Thank you. Today I stand here and talk. I then realized that, okay, I need a purpose to do something. I started working with an engineering college, which is one of the leading engineering colleges in the city. I started working with them as an assistant professor. I was doing really pretty well in that, but then at the same time, I was not contented. I always wanted to be a go-getter and have something of my own brand. I then realized and I told my husband, you know what, I'm not happy, I would want to quit it. Give some time, brainstorm a little. It's just a small age, I can do really well later on. I just quit my job. I sat along with him and he made sure that I don't feel deprived of my own career growth. He gave me a platform to join him in his real estate company, Shipra Builders. He trusted in me. It's very rare to see men coming in front and promoting their wives join their business. My husband did that for me. And it was seriously one benchmark that changed the entire decision of my life. I'm really happy. So after cracking a few deals from my husband's brand, while working with him, I realized a few mindsets which I was going through. First and foremost being, when I cracked my first deal, you know what was the happiness? It was not the paycheck I got, but it was the happiness. I saw the tears of joy, the people, those who bought their first apartment. That was the tears of joy I could see in their eyes. And they're messaging me, inviting me for their Graha Pravesh. That is something that I have helped people in manifesting a benchmark they wanted to achieve in their life. That's what we see. Buying your own home is a financial independence goal #1 for many people. And that's what made me realize, okay, I can pretty well do well in this field. By cracking a few deals, I came up with an idea, why not to spread this pan-India? That is when my brand Gursh Infra Realtors came into existence. I started working with developers from Delhi, and I only say I work with RERA approved developers. So I started working with M3M, I started working with DLF, I started working with Bhutani, all big developers and brands I started associating with. And later after that I realized that I can even spread it ahead, and the first big deal of my life happened when I got a call from DAMAC office from Dubai and they wanted me on board. But due to geographical choices, I could not make a decision to move out of Kanpur. So I offered them to work as a channel partner for them. And today, I am connected with DAMAC, MR, Danube, and even bigger brands than them. So I'm really happy that today in my life, I have come in a way that I was working as an engineer. I was crafted in a way to work as an engineer, but the fortune played when I was very much ahead in my mind that I have to do something different. I talk about real estates, I say that for women in this field, the ratio is really less. Today I need to question everybody here. Ain't the brain genderless? Well, we all agree to that, right? We all are human machines. We all are working our way out. But still, we see very less of women in this field. Why? As a woman, I have explored this journey of 7.5 years of experience in digital marketing, which incorporated with different levels in my life. But then, at the same time, I feel deprived to see that very less women are participants in real estates. Why is it that so? And today, when I talk about that, I need to tell you there are a few set of challenges which I face personally as a woman in this field. It's a male-governed lobby, my friends. So I have to tell you, you will be shamed, you will be mocked, you will be judged on your career paths, because this is not a conventional career choice a woman goes ahead with. In this city, it was really difficult for me to create my own space. But I made sure, I was determined that I have to do it. And for me, the biggest push behind this was my husband sitting right there. He made sure no matter what, I'm standing like a big spine for you, and I'll make sure whatever you want in my support, I'll be there for you. That is the biggest support of your spouse standing like a spine with you, very headstrong. I started working on projects, I started working in creating a complete tree structure within me that could help me work pan-India and create my brand, a pan-India company. Now today when I say female in real estates, we come across a lot of issues which women go through. Do you know that the world I saw while growing up was quite feted and celebrated? But when I started joining the entire corporate world, it was a challenging journey altogether. I say that with pride that I have come up a long way, but I see many women, those who hustle, but at the same time they lose it at some point. There is a very big challenge for women to come up in this field or choose any unconventional field for that factor, and only when you have this mindset of having a go-getter attitude and you're high on integrity, only then I have to tell you this world is your oyster. Today when I talk about female in real estates, the percentage and the statistics show that as per World Economic Forum, the women participation rate in this field is very less. When we say World Economic Forum says that India is 135th ranked out of 145 countries in the world in its gender gap ratio. When we say about that, at the same time, on the contrary, our country is counted as the 5th largest economy in the world. So do you know how many women participants are there to contribute to the economy of our country? The female participation ratio for the economy is just 25%. And out of this, only 8.9% women we see are the top leaders making decisions. That means out of the entire country of more than 1 billion people in this country, we have just 8.9% of women contributing in taking decisions. Don't you see this pattern needs to break? Well, when I say this, along with this, keep questioning yourself. Ain't the brain genderless? Now when I stand here and talk about it, I have to tell you that when I say we need to make a change, we are not going to take banners and shout it loud that, okay, bring women entrepreneurs more. No. Small little changes in our day-to-day life or maybe in our working patterns could help more women to get more opportunity in their work field. For example, increasing the ratio of female participants in your team. Or maybe there are women who could not continue their job because they had to change their geographical positions because of their maybe getting married, or maybe she just had a baby. And after that she just left her job and she had no choice, because for her, being a woman and handling her household duties is already an expected thing which she has to do and is not a choice for her. Making her career is maybe a choice for her. Well, I say offering them a hybrid module of working, if possible, giving her a chance of work from home. Well, post-pandemic, we all have seen the work from home culture coming up. Then why not give women, those who deserve their space, also a work from home culture? Well, when I say this, small changes can bring a bigger change altogether. Also, along with that, I have to tell you, we have to make sure that we stop offering people gender-specific roles altogether. So many places we see that women have come up in their rounds and they have to be questioned in this way. How will you continue to do a job after marriage? What are your plans after having a child? Will you be able to continue your job? Why not? Do we ever ask men these questions? Well, it's a small thing. A small mindset can change and bring a bigger revolution altogether. There are 5 mantras which I followed in my life personally, which were very important because for me, continuing to be in this field was a challenge. I had to make sure that I come over ever and ever again. Point number 1, you have to stop being a people pleaser. Being a people pleaser on one hand and being a self-driven, career-oriented person on the other hand, you have to give priority to yourself. Point number 2, you have to optimize your time. Always remember, biggest of the biggest people in the world, every human being has 24 hours a day. How do you manipulate those 24 hours and how do you manage your work and personal life is a choice a person needs to make if you want to make ahead your career go. Point number 3, you should never say to yourself, I can't afford it. Well, I am a human being. I love buying materialistic things and there were things I could not afford at that time, but I never ever said it to myself that I can't afford it. Saying no to yourself is a negative manifestation. Saying no, I can't do it. It's way beyond my budget. So what? Give it a time, plan and prepare yourself accordingly so that there is a space for you to achieve that particular thing you want in life. Saying I can't is a sign of mental laziness. We need to be very clear about this thing. There is a saying in Hindi, जितनी चादर है उतने पैर पसारने चाहिए, फैलाने चाहिए. That's what we hear. But for me, I say, आपके पैर उतने ही हैं, आप धीरे धीरे चादर बढ़ाते जाइए. That's the thing. In life, you have to make sure that you have certain goals kept ahead. If you don't have goals taken care of, you will not get time for yourself to move ahead in life. Point number 4, you have to make sure that whatever is your situation in your work and you're starting your own career, you need to have a problem-solving mindset. If having a problem-solving mindset, it will help you create your own path. Read good books. Read good management books. They will help you a lot and help you gain a lot of experiences and decades of knowledge altogether. Point number 5 and most important, never say and accept I failed it. Never do that. If you are afraid of trying, that is the biggest problem. You should be afraid of trying but not afraid of failures, because failures will always teach you something or the other in your journey. Apart from this, I have to tell you the most important thing, please do take care of yourself and your health the most. Being physically fit, mentally fit and as well as emotionally fit is the biggest need of the hour. The pandemic has taught us this. And everything is in vain if you are not happy from within. Apart from this, I have to tell you a small quote which I personally follow in my life, because as an entrepreneur, there will be challenges in your life and there will be moments when you will feel, I failed it. Sir APJ Abdul Kalam once said, if you fail, never ever give up, because fail stands for first attempt in learning. That means you should always go ahead, try again and make sure you come back as a strong person. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to conclude it hereby by saying always and always keep yourselves and your goals ahead, and any time and every time anybody speaks to you and offers you a gender specific role, always question them back. In the brain, genderless. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was really enlightening.